Hey, how's it going, guys? Blue Tempest here, and welcome to a very special video. Today, I am going to be counting down my top 10 manga that I read in 2021, which technically is my top 10 manga of all time in general, because I did start reading manga in January of 2021. So yeah, this is a video that I knew I was going to be making for a really long time, and I'm really happy with my list. And yeah, I think I have some pretty interesting choices on my list, and I just love seeing other manga tubers and just other people in the community throw out their top 10 manga series. It's always cool to see what each person likes and dislikes, and yeah, I just really enjoy seeing other people's lists. So if you guys want to share your top 10 manga, feel free to do so down in the comments section. But without further ado, I do want to start out this video by shouting out some honorable mentions. The first of which being Hunter x Hunter. Now, a lot of you guys probably know that this is one of my favorite anime series of all time. If not my favorite anime, it's really up there, honestly kind of tied with Attack on Titan right now. But yes, I absolutely love Hunter x Hunter, and I have read a little bit of the manga, only the stuff that happens past where the anime leaves off. So I did want to leave out Hunter x Hunter from this list because I haven't read the entirety of the series, and I'm planning to in 2022 to determine where it would rank in my top manga. So yeah, that's why it's not on the list, but still just know that this is an amazing manga series and one of my favorites. Next up, I do want to shout out Ajin Demi-Human. Now this is a pretty cool series. Definitely check it out if you like seinen and action and just a little bit of a darker thriller. But I've only read 5 volumes of this series, and I do have a 3-volume rule video if you're interested. Definitely check that out. But because I haven't read too much of this, it didn't quite make the list for me, but I could definitely see this getting higher on the list once I do read more of it. So hopefully I will end up finishing this series in 2022. Next up, I do want to give a shout out to Beastars. Now this is a series that I think has high potential to actually be on my top 10 manga of all time, or at least really high up in my top manga of all time. But I've only read the first 3 volumes of the series, so yeah, definitely got to read more, and I hope to pick up some more volumes of this so I can continue. But so far, this series is fantastic. Definitely check it out if you're interested in a really different take on a slice of life and drama. So yeah, that's Beastars. Next up, I do want to give a shout out to Solanin. Now this is a one-shot by Inyo Asano. Technically it's 2 volumes, but it's released in a all-in-one edition here in the West. And yeah, this was just such a good read. It was very down-to-earth, relatable, and the artwork is fantastic. Definitely check out Solanin if you haven't, and I'm really excited to get into some more Inyo Asano works in 2022. And then the last honorable mentions I do want to shout out are these series by Shuzo Oshimi, Blood on the Tracks and Inside Mari. Now, you guys probably already know that I love Shuzo Oshimi if you have seen some of my other videos, and you'll see Shuzo Oshimi pop up again in this video. But I did want to give a shout out to these 2 series right here because I think they have high potential to be some of my absolute favorites, but I haven't finished them. Inside Mari, as of the time of recording this video, there are still 2 volumes that need to come out before it's finished, and then Blood on the Tracks is still ongoing. So yeah, just really enjoyable series. Definitely recommend these, but stay tuned to see Shuzo Oshimi pop up again in this video. But yeah, that does it for all of the honorable mentions, and let's get into the actual top 10. So at number 10, we have Spirit Circle. Now, this is a 6-volume series. It's pretty short, and it's just such a breath of fresh air for manga. When I was getting into this, I honestly thought it was going to be some sort of a battle shonen just from the art style and the character designs. But no, this series is a really interesting take on a fantasy story. I don't really know how to describe it, but it deals a lot with reincarnation, and it's just such a well-crafted story. We do see a bunch of different storylines, all tied to a main character's past lives, and it's just such a great series. I highly recommend you guys to check this one out if you're looking for a nice short series that is just honestly really enjoyable. So yeah, that's my number 10, Spirit Circle. For my number 9 is actually a series that I'm currently reading, and that is Parasite. While I've only read up to volume 4 of this series, I can already tell that this is gonna be one of my favorites. I absolutely love the art style, the aesthetic. I love how dark this series is, but it still has some lighthearted moments sprinkled in there. I do just really love the premise, and it's just such a solid seinen manga. It has action, it has mystery, it has suspense, it has sci-fi elements. You know, this series kind of has everything that you would want in a seinen, and yeah, it's just a classic. I am absolutely loving this ride, and I really can't wait to actually finish the series. So yeah, my number 9 is Parasite. All right, so next up for my number 8 is a series that is criminally underrated, and that series is Twin Star Exorcist. This is honestly one of the most underrated shonen series that is currently ongoing as part of the Shonen Jump imprint in the West. But yeah, what do I have to say about Twin Star? Well, if you're looking for a shonen series that, while it has, you know, the typical shonen things, you know, this series isn't really reinventing the wheel or anything, but what it does super well. It has amazing action, really fun and memorable characters, and a little bit of a like rom-com twist to it as well, which I do enjoy. And yeah, this series is just great. The artwork, the storyline. I've only read up to volume 9 of this, so I'm really looking forward to actually getting back into it and you know, catching up to the series. But as of right now, this is definitely in my top 10 manga, and yeah, I just can't wait for more. So that is Twin Star Exorcist, number 8 on my list. All right, so for my number 7 spot, I have to give it to Made in Abyss. Now, you guys have probably heard of this series, and if you know anything about it, there are some controversial aspects to this manga series. But honestly, this manga is just so good that I can kind of look past all of the weird and controversial and just kind of sus things going on in some of the artwork and just in this manga in general, because yeah, the story is just fantastic. It's everything I honestly want in a manga. I love adventure stories. I love just a lot of lore and fantasy, and just, I don't know, man. This series is really good. It's also really dark. I will say that. There's a lot of messed up elements to this story, but it has some of the most memorable and lovable characters, and just the world building is top notch. Probably some of the best world building I've ever seen in manga. So yeah, I definitely recommend Made in Abyss. Despite some of its shortcomings, this still is easily in my top 10 manga. So yeah. All right, so moving on to my number 6 spot, and that is gonna go to Happiness. Happiness is a manga from Shuzo Oshimi, my favorite mangaka as of right now. And yeah, this series is just so crazy. It's 10 volumes long, and I literally read the entire thing in one sitting. It took me about like 3 hours maybe. So it's a really fast read. But honestly, in my opinion, that's a good thing, because this manga just is such a good bingeable series. It's all about vampires, and it's kind of like, what if vampires were real? You know, it does have a lot of fantasy elements to it. It has a lot of obviously fictional elements to the story, but it just feels so realistic. And some of the things that happen in this series are honestly things that you don't really see in a lot of vampire stories. And I feel like Oshimi goes places that other writers are afraid to go with this story. So definitely check it out. It's very dark. Obviously the artwork is fantastic. I cannot recommend Happiness enough. And yeah, that is my number 6 manga. All right, so my number 5 is gonna go to Chainsaw Man. This is one of the most hyped up manga series of this year for good reason, because I obviously love it. It's my number 5 manga series. And what do I have to say about Chainsaw Man that hasn't already been said? I mean, this is just such a wild ride. I did read the entire thing on the Shonen Jump app, even though all of the physical volumes haven't released yet. This is just such a gritty shonen series. It almost feels like a seinen. There's just a lot of really memorable characters, just memorable moments in general, and the pacing is honestly breakneck, but there's just so much action packed into this series. There's so much just going for it. I can't wait for the eventual second part of the series to come out, and also I can't wait for the anime. So yeah, there's not really much I could say about Chainsaw Man, like I said, that hasn't already been said. So if you haven't checked the series out, I definitely think you should get on the train. I know it's really hype right now, but like I said, I personally think it's worth the hype. So yeah, that is my number 5 spot. All right, and for my number 4 spot, we have another series that has a lot of hype behind it, and it is the number 1 manga on Mal. You guys all know it. It's Berserk. Now, Berserk is a manga that honestly I absolutely love. I've only read up to the Golden Age arc, which was absolutely fantastic. While obviously it isn't my favorite manga of all time, it's still really high up on my list, and honestly I think this has the potential to be even higher once I read more of it. I should get onto reading some more Berserk once I do get the remaining deluxe editions that I'm missing, which I do have coming soon. And yeah, I've just been really itching to get back into the series. It's just such a classic, and I do want to take some time to say rest in peace to Kentaro Miura, the mangaka of the series who passed away this year. This is just such a legendary series, and he is such a legendary mangaka. I'm just so glad that I was able to actually get into Berserk and read it, and just be able to experience such an amazing series. So yeah, that is my number 4 spot. It's definitely well deserved for Berserk. So yeah. Alright guys, so we are coming down to the wire. The top 3 manga for me of 2021, but also just in general, my top 3 favorite manga as of December 2021. So yeah, my number 3 is gonna go to Aizu. Now this is easily my favorite rom-com manga that I have read up to this point. I just absolutely love everything about this series. It has really everything that I would want out of a rom-com series. It has a just lovable cast of characters. All the characters are super memorable. The crazy, wacky scenarios that they get into are also hilarious and entertaining. There's definitely a lot of heart put into this series, and I just absolutely love it. This is definitely one of those that stuck with me after I finished it, and I just absolutely can't wait to get into some more of Katsura's other works. Because yeah, I just absolutely love his writing style. I love his artwork. It has that kind of 90s vintage vibe to it, which I really like. It's just super immersive and nostalgic, and yeah, I just don't know how to explain it. This is definitely one of those series that I think if you're into rom-coms, you just need to check this one out. I don't see a lot of people talking about this. And I just would want more people to go out and read this. I know that some of the volumes are pretty rare, but if you have the, chance to get into this series, I highly recommend it, and I would love to talk to more people about it. So, yeah, that is my number 3 spot for my top manga, and yeah. So moving on, my number 2 is gonna go to Gantz. This is such a crazy series. Honestly, this has high potential to be my favorite series of all time. Honestly, it's really, really up there. The only thing stopping it from being my number 1 is that I haven't actually finished it, because I am reading them through these omnibuses, which are still currently releasing. But I have read about maybe 19, 20 volumes worth of material of this series up to this point, and I've got to say, this is just such a crazy ride. So many twists and turns. This has just some very over exaggerated action, and it's very dark but also very mature. There's a lot of graphic content, some nudity, which I think gives the series a little bit of a bad rep. But honestly, once you get past like the first 1 or 2 omnibuses, that really takes a back seat, and it just becomes such a crazy story, honestly. And the main character goes through some really good development. He starts out being just this really hateable character, and then you see him grow and just learn from his experiences. And this is a series where you have just different groups of people who died kind of wake up in this mysterious room, and they're forced to fight aliens and just crazy creatures and monsters. Some of the most disturbing creatures that I have seen in a manga series. Yeah, I don't even know what to say when it comes to that. But also the artwork is really good, really detailed. The character designs are great. I just love this series. It's just such an action-packed series, and I know that this isn't for everybody. Not everybody's gonna love this. I don't even know how controversial it is for me to put this so high on my list, especially above things like Berserk, but I just really, really enjoyed the series, honestly. I don't know what else to really say about it. If you're looking for a seinen series that is just some of the craziest action, some of the craziest plot twists that you will see, check out Gantz. And guys, that brings us to the number 1 spot on my top manga list. If you have been a subscriber of my channel, this number 1 will come to no surprise. It is honestly a series that really resonated with me. It's a series that I think is a masterpiece. I've said that in the past, and I still agree to this day. It's gonna be hard for something to top this, but I know that there are a lot of other amazing manga that I still haven't read. So, I do plan on doing another top 10 manga video, or just like another top 20 maybe in the future. But as of right now, December 2021, my number 1 manga is gonna go to The Flowers of Evil. Like I said, you guys probably saw this one coming. This is a series by Shuzo Oshimi. This is honestly the series that cemented him as one of my favorite mangakas. And once I read all of his works that have been released in the West so far, yeah, he's definitely my favorite now, and this is still my favorite series by him. This is a really interesting series. I don't even know how to explain what it's about, but I would consider it to be kind of a coming of age story. But what it definitely is a crazy psychological thriller that deals with the topics of, mental illness and trying to find closure and just growing up and puberty. It's just one of those series that I think resonated with me. There was aspects of the series that were relatable. Just some of the characters in the series really stuck with me. And this is honestly one of the most rereadable series in my opinion. I have flipped through the series multiple times since actually sitting down and reading it for the first time. So while I haven't done like a proper reread, I have skimmed through all of it, like I said, multiple times. And yeah, this series is just so good. It is another one of those that is really not for everyone. As you can see from my entire top 10 list, I do have a very particular taste in manga while still kind of being broad in the genres that I like. But yeah, The Flowers of Evil was just such an immersive experience for me. It was a quick read and it was just a masterpiece, honestly, from beginning to end. I loved this series. I honestly don't want to go into what it's actually about. I want you guys to read it for yourself if you haven't. Definitely check out The Flowers of Evil. Like I said, not for everybody, but I do think it is a series that most people should check out and most people should try out. But honestly, yeah, Flowers of Evil really surprised me alongside with all of Shuzo Oshimi's other works. And yeah, I just can't wait to check out more of his series. There are some that are going to be coming out in 2022. And I honestly, just in general, can't wait to see what other series are going to end up in my top 10. So I'm definitely, like I said, going to make another video like this in the future once I do read more manga. And yeah, that pretty much does it for my top 10 manga list. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know down in the comments what you think of my list, and also feel free to share your top 10 manga list down in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am, as of recording this video, very close to getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Once I hit that milestone, I will be doing a giveaway, so stay tuned for that. And I do plan on doing my updated manga collection video very soon, so keep a lookout for that as well. And yeah, there's just going to be a lot more content coming for you guys, so yeah, definitely hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time that I do drop a new video. And if you're interested, then definitely check me out on all of my social media platforms. The links to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Mal, all of those links are gonna be down in the description. And with that, guys, that does it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.